Welcome to PRI 2023. I'm Josh from Motor Vault, and we are here on the floor of Lucas Oil Stadium here in early December for the PRI show. We are here representing Futura trailers. We've got a couple of our inventory cars, and we're here with Indiana Automotive Equipment. We're going to have a really fun weekend here in Indy. We brought a couple things, especially from Futura. This right here is the Club Sport single axle trailer, which is perfect for a Mini, Miata, Lotus, things of that nature. And as well, as you guys can see, Alpha 4C up on the lifts. These things are great for your fun track day cars, for your collector cars. And with Indiana Automotive Equipment bringing their huge lifts, obviously supported perfectly fine. Let's go take a look around the rest of the show. This is one product that we are always proud to represent. It's Futura's Super Tour. This is their enclosed trailer, soft side, aluminum, 19-foot, 8-inch as their normal Pro Sport. These trailers are fantastic and they work great for race cars and show cars. This is definitely both of those, the underground racing, twin turbo, gated manual, Gallardo. Futura trailers are great for anybody that is a true car enthusiast, and that's why we represent them as vehicles for enthusiasts. Let's go check out some more enthusiast vehicles. PRI is full of everything from engines to cars to accessories, anything automotive racing related equipment. PRI is going to have it, and a lot of really cool display cars, including this S15 Civia drift car with an RB26 massive turbo, 3-spoke wheels, wide body. This is the epitome of drift missile, JDM legend. I'm already extremely excited. We haven't even left Lucas Oil Stadium. So one thing that's really cool and new this year at PRI is that there is an electric go-kart competition, and you actually have some pros out here. One of them in the Bitnile jersey, that is Connor Daly, IndyCar driver, fellow type 1 diabetic. So this is gonna be really cool, seeing a bunch of pros go around basically an ice skating rink for go-karts. This is awesome. So much great is happening in the racing world today, especially with IndyCar, with IMSA, all across the motorsports landscape, and there is pretty much one of everything here on display. We've got IndyCar, we've got IMSA with the prototypes, the hypercars, Formula E here, NASCAR over here, and we even have a Formula 1 car on display right behind us. There is so much going on, it's fantastic. As many would say, the pinnacle of motorsports, Formula 1, Williams Racing 2023 F1 car. We did see this car run in person in Las Vegas. Brian and I went, it was phenomenal. These cars are so quick, they sound fantastic. And these cars under the lights are beyond special to see. The sparks that they're throwing up on the straightaways, the amount of grip these cars have. I mean, it is really the pinnacle of motorsports. And having this on display here in Indy is wicked cool. So much on the motorsports landscape today. 1973 Indianapolis. You had cars like this, AAR Eagle, STP colors, bright day glow as they were famous for many years throughout Indianapolis. Andy Granatelli behind these cars. These things put out over 1,000 horsepower from a turbo 4-cylinder Offie, and this one in particular was restored by our friends Turn 4 Restoration in Brownsburg, Indiana. And this thing looks absolutely fantastic, especially with that Dayglow STP paint. Fantastic. This show is so massive. The entire Indiana Convention Center is completely loaded. Cars, vendors, you name it, OEMs. So they even have to line cars in the stairwells leading up to the convention center from the stadium. And the stadium is packed. That's where we are with the trailers. This show is huge, just like the rear bodywork on this Eagle Indy car. Wicked! Let's go see some more. Oh boy, here we go. Up we go to the main show. Let's go. Oh. Cars. 1960s Indy cars is when they went from front engine to rear engine, and the Indy Eagle is one of my favorites of all time. Dan Gurney was behind these cars. He drove them, he raced them, he built them. Jerry Grant drove this one, fully restored with those massive pipes out the back and the ITBs. These cars looked great, they sounded phenomenal, and they are wicked fast, changing the game for IndyCar to the rear engine. If you want to talk about the epitome of hot rodding, this is it. You find a car in a barn, a little British lightweight car, you smack a massive V8 in there, huge supercharger, and look like you're a period 1950s or 1960s drag racing car. This is awesome. MGA Roadster that is far from stock? We'll go with that. If you're ever wondering why Nissan in Japanese cars became popular in the United States, Peter Brock Racing Enterprises, BRE, which you'll see on this car everywhere, was very, very impactful on bringing the Datsun products, which is now Nissan, over to the United States. They ran these 510s in the original 240Zs in racing series in the United States, and they were wicked fast, wicked cool, and that helped sell those cars stateside, and now was led into the modern day Z, the modern day Nissan. This is really, really special. This one is a tribute of one of the original BRE 510s, but the great boxy looks and knowing how tossable these cars were, awesome. We are packed, we are rocking on the first morning of PRI here on Thursday, finally in the main convention hall. As you guys can see, there is so much going on. I'm standing next to something that I absolutely love, the Merkur XR4 Ti that has been mashed together with a Escort RS Cosworth, wide body, completely customized. So much done to this. Love the Recaro seats. This looks absolutely insane, especially with the huge duckbill in the back. This show is so nuts that they have a modified dirt car hanging from the rafters. Get you some of that. We are here with Kenzie from SRO, which SRO is important for Indy because they run the Indy 8-hour great race that's been on for a handful of years, GT3, GT4 cars. And how long have you been working for SRO?
So this will be my third year, coming in January.
Awesome. So is Indy your favorite race, or is it Road America? What's your list?
Road America is definitely my favorite track, but the Indy 8-hour is probably the most eventful race we have, so it's definitely the one to go to.
So are you guys planning on doing anything really cool with the 8-hour coming up? Are you guys excited to have Corvette?
Oh, absolutely. It's one of our biggest surprises this year, but we still plan on having the 8-hour around the same week, the first week of October.
Awesome.
So it should be quite the scene. It's mainly just GT3 cars now.
GT3 cars.
But it should be a good lineup.
Last question, favorite GT3 car?
Oof. Man, probably the M4.
The M4?
Yeah.
Well, you are lucky to have Sam Tan racing in your series.
Absolutely.
She's awesome, great for the sport, great livery. Have some fun at the 8-hour next year. We'll see you there, and thanks for coming back to Indy every year.
Perfect, of course.
If you want to talk about famous Camaros, this car here, Tom Bailey's 1969 Camaro, is street legal. This has been the world's fastest street car multiple times, 6-second quarter-mile street legal car, 3,000 plus horsepower. This thing is a freaking monster, and it keeps on getting better with age. The 7.3 liter Godzilla, we have put a couple of these in our backdraft roadsters that we have ordered. Indy Powertrain makes these. These engines are awesome. They are super torquey, and they are one of the coolest crate engines you could possibly put in any car. Hard not to love the C8 Corvette. This one is quite special. It has been extensively modified by Lingenfelter Performance Engineering, company that I know quite well. Ken Lingenfelter is a great friend of mine, and this one has been supercharged. It is wicked fast. It's one of the first companies to get their hands on supercharging the C8s. The orange with the black, the nice little fender flares. This one is ready to rock and roll. Danny Pop actually drives this one in a handful of Series 4 Lingenfelter. Awesome looking car. Lingenfelter makes some fun stuff. There is so much to look at PRI. It's almost overwhelming. But then when you see a GT4 RS like this, your head turns, you stop. You have to look. The best of the best from Porsche. I think this is one of the best cars they have ever made, period. Having basically a 911 GT3 engine in such a smaller, more nimble chassis, phenomenal. We have stopped at PWR for one specific reason. We see the GT4 RS, which they had a great idea on bringing this car, the gray with the gold wheels. But I'm a little bit more curious about what you guys do. I'm Josh, by the way. What's your name?
I'm Ben.
Ben, what do you guys do? Tell me about it.
So here at PWR, we develop custom cooling solutions. So whether that's radiators, intercoolers, oil coolers, heat exchangers, anything where it involves cooling, we're the guys for it. So we do everything from looking at the data through an engineering sense, developing the design. We have a full design team, CFD team. We have a wind tunnel on site that we use to performance test and characterize all of our coolers. And then we develop everything in-house and we build everything in-house. So we're a USA company. We produce products here in Indy and we produce everything from scratch. So all the fins that you see in the cores, we start from raw coil, and then we develop we manufacture all of the fin, and it's all PWR own design, and we develop the louver angles, and we tune them to specific applications so that you're getting the most cooling performance. Then we go through and we braze all of the cores, and then we do all the fabrication in-house, and we do everything from sheet metal folder tanks, form tanks, billet machine tanks, even additive tanks. So we do a lot of aluminium additive printing as well, and then we do some more advanced heat exchanging technologies as well, like microbore and full printed additive coolers as well. So we do everything from your low end all the way to your high end into Formula One, aerospace and defense, as well as obviously aftermarket.
Awesome. Well, you guys are top level, love the Indy connection, and obviously you got to have some great engineering and great stuff to have to go on track cars like this. So appreciate it. Have a good show, and we'll see you guys here in future shows for PRI.
No worries. Thank you. Appreciate it.
If any of you guys have looked at our inventory prior, you guys know that we have had one of these, an 04 automatic. This is an 06 Pontiac GTL. LS2, this one's been modified, Edelbrock supercharger, Weld racing wheels. These GTOs are one of my favorites of all time, one of the biggest sleeper muscle cars ever made. I will own one of these one day, guaranteed. If you want a build that has zero holdbacks, this 1973 Pontiac Firebird is that. 1,400 plus horsepower. Every single thing on this is completely custom. IndyCar parts, you name it. This is one of the most wild looking things I have ever seen. And the fact that this is basically a family built project is absolutely awesome. Things that you will not see outside of the major show circuits in PRI. Classic 1960s style drag racing car. This 1961 Vet looks phenomenal. The skinnies, the fats in the rear, raised up a little in the front. Small block in this one, which is really cool. This is very, very correct to a very important time drag racing history in the United States. Resto mods are super hot. They have been for a couple of years. And cars like this is why people build resto mods. Looks pretty much bone stock on the outside. Blue 65 Vet. But seeing those wheels and seeing the big old LS motor under the hood, this car is stunning. Brand new top of the line interior, diamond stitch. This is why people do this, is they can go out and drive and have the modern accessibility and comfortability, modern car, and still look like a 60s classic. Super special piece of drag racing history. Hot Wheels has a huge connection to drag racing, the NHRA, Don the Snake Prudhomme. And this is a modern tribute to the original Snake and Mongoose cars that ran in the early 70s. Ron Capps ran this car at the US Nationals this year and got a win in tribute to the legend himself, Don the Snake Prudhomme. This is a Toyota. Pretty far from it, but it still is Toyota power plant. These are 300-mile-an-hour cars, 4 second and a quarter mile. Absolutely insane to watch in person, over 8,000 horsepower. Let's go. We have found a motorsports legend, Bruno Massel, part of NHRA, and has been on screen for many, many years. So what gets you excited about what's going on with motorsports today, and what are you looking forward to most over the next 5 years?
You know, for me, I think it's just exciting. You know, we came out of a time in COVID where we kind of had to hit the reset button, right? I mean, and I think it's made the organizations from the NHRA to NASCAR to anything in between a little bit stronger, because you had to kind of pull together to survive.
Yep.
And now you see people coming back out in droves, and there's like a re-energizing, so to speak, of what we're seeing out. I mean, we've got packed events. You know, ratings are up. Everything is trending in the the right direction.
Absolutely.
And after the struggle we all went through a few years ago, it's great to see. And it's like you come to PRI and your eyes open up again because you already can't wait for the next season.
Right.
You know, I got the hair standing up on my arms right now. It's like we just got done. We're getting ready back to go at it again. So there's just a good vibe and a good buzz going through PRI that kind of emanates and resonates into what we'll see next year in 2024.
Absolutely, and this is a great way to cap off a great year and get things fired up for next year. So
yeah,
appreciate you taking a minute to talk with us and have a great PRI.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yes. We have found our friends at Dallara. We met these fine folks at Putnam Park when they had this absolutely wicked track special, the Dallara EXP. I got to see this car run, and it was doing wicked lap times around Putnam. Now, you guys are very involved with this car, with this project. Tell me about the project, tell me about the car, and where the car goes across the world.
Yeah, so it's actually the expansion package to the European street car, the Dallara Stradale, that the company gifted Gianpaolo Dallara for his 80th birthday. He always wanted to see one of his cars on track, or on the road with his label, and be it drive it to the seaside in Italy, up through the mountains, or to the racetrack. It's the perfect combination of all those things, and the track-specific version is basically a souped-up version of that car. It's got, it weighs 1,900 pounds, got 2,700 pounds of downforce, and has a peak lateral acceleration of 2.7 G. So the car really grips to the track, and not to mention it's just a Ford EcoBoost 2.3 liter 4-cylinder engine that's turbocharged to 500 horsepower. So the amount of power to weight ratio is incredible. So the car, we've got 7 over here in the United States now, and we travel to some of the different motorsports country clubs that are kind of like Putnam Park or the Thermals out in California, to the M1 concourses in Detroit. We recently, this last fall, did an event at Monticello in New York, which is a beautiful, beautiful facility. And it's marketed towards the track connoisseur that enjoys going out and having a really good time on the racetrack in a very high-performing vehicle. So, awesome. I don't know. Did I sum it up?
Yeah,
properly?
you summarized everything. So actually, next year we'll have a lot of events going on. Awesome. Hopefully a lot of display and also a lot of track days. So if you want to stay tuned, just our social media will say everything.
Follow Dallara, give those guys a look. If you guys did not know prior, Dallara does make the Indy cars and as well a couple of the hypercar chassis. So Dallara's been around for a long time. They make a great product, and the fact that someone could actually get their hands on a car themselves and go rip it, that's fantastic. Thank you guys. Have a blast. Appreciate you guys coming out to PRI.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
We're here on Friday at the PRI show. We've got Jeremy Ortiz with us with the 240SX, the purple monster. Love that car. Can't wait to ride in it at some point.
We'll make it happen, I promise.
So this is actually a really important show for you because you are all about performance racing, obviously the drag racing you do. So what are you here for today? What is your favorite thing you're seeing? And are you looking to add anything to your car from walking around here?
Yeah, certainly. So number one important is making those connections, keeping those, relationships that I have going. So I've got a handful of sponsors here that come to the show each year. Some of them I met through the show in previous years.
Awesome.
I think this is the 5th or 6th year I've been here.
Cool.
So, having those conversations with them, talk about how the year went, look forward to next year, giving them a chance to tell me what kind of products are coming out so I can, support them, let everybody else know what's coming out that wasn't able to make it here.
Right.
So that's the most important thing for me and why I'm here for sure. My favorite thing about the show, seeing those folks, I don't always get to see them, but meeting new people and seeing the new products that are coming out.
It is absolute eye candy everywhere.
Yeah.
It is impossible just to keep your head straight. I mean, you saw this yesterday, Kevin. I was just spinning like a swivel.
Yeah, you have to have a game plan coming in because you can get lost real quick.
Yep.
Luckily now that I feel like I'm a veteran of this show, I know the two different areas. I guess 3 areas if you include Lucas Oil Stadium we're in. But just going up and down those aisles, making a game plan. If you plan to come, the app that they have is actually really good. So,
okay. Good
non-paid sponsorship for there, but
yes.
use the app. It's great. You can create your plan, know who you want to talk to, and make value of time because this show is 3 days long,
Yeah.
and you could easily stretch it out to 3 days long.
Absolutely.
I'm only making it 1 day this year, and so I had to make sure I planned ahead.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just the innovation, the cool stuff coming out. I love this industry. I love the people in this industry, and I mean, I plan to come every year. Have to.
It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of great business to be had, so much to see. I know this is very impactful for you, so looking forward to seeing what you do next year,
Oh, yeah.
and especially with the additions of sponsors and extra little bits you add to
yeah.
your car.
Yep.
So we got a lot of good things coming. 2024, PRI has been great so far. We got 1 day left. Keep on rocking and rolling.
Oh, yeah.
Jim,
You know it.
appreciate it, brother.
Yeah,
Thank
too.
you.
Thanks.
So much to see at PRI. If you're a racing guy, if you're in the industry, this is the place for you. Turbos, wheels, chassis, you name it. It'll be here some way or another. And seeing show cars like this GTO drag car is what it's all about. We're having a great time. Come check us out for the Futura trailers, our inventory cars over at Lucas Oil Stadium. And as well, give us a like, follow, and a subscribe. We'll see you guys soon.